What's up? I'm Dan Random. Today I'm changing my right motor mount. So for this job I just need a 17 millimeter, 14 millimeter, a 10 millimeter, and a 12 millimeter. So I just popped my coolant reservoir off. It just lifts up off of this thing right here. Then I'm going to have to actually remove this bracket so that I can get this bolt out. And then I just got to take out these 3 bolts. I'm not sure if the engine's going to drop at all. I don't think it is. But you might want to have a jack underneath with something flat to support it evenly. So let's get to work here. That's good enough out of the way. Let's leave that socket for that job there. Now this is just a ballast for weight. This brace has to be moved out of the way. Oh, at least that reached the ground. There we go. So that was from there. Let's loosen up the other side here too. You don't have to take it all the way out, but just so that we can move this around some. And this one here is a 17. These are also a 17. I saw the motor drop a tiny bit, so it looks like you do have to jack the motor up. Now you're gonna have to put a jack underneath your motor on the pan there, so either get something really wide and flat, or you can use a big rag or a hockey puck or something like that. I'm using a rag and being really careful. It's totally folded up as much as it could go, and it's not going to bend the pan, especially being kind of on the corner like it is. Plus I'm only lifting the weight of the engine very slowly. I already know I have the weight of the engine on it right now, and so I just need this bolt to come out nice and straight. Jack it up a little bit more. I don't know if you can see it moving on camera, but you don't want it to lift the car. So now I have the center bolt removed here, all the nuts, bolts, everything's off here, but it still doesn't want to come up easily. So you can either take a little block of wood and a hammer, or a mallet, or the block of wood with the mallet, and give it a little tap. So it looks like I'm going to need to pry this up and out with a pry bar. Now I don't know why this was so tough to break loose, but I got it. I pried in here a little bit, in here a tiny bit, trying to be careful of the paint. I could have used a rag. I didn't really leave any marks. But then I saw a little crack forming down here, and just enough to be able to get the tip of this barely started in, and I gave it a little whack with the mallet here, and it actually popped up. So now I can actually get it out, but I don't know how it got so locked in there. Let's see, it's loose now. It's gonna fight me. Oh, nope, there it is. So, alright, well I'm going to use 2 hands here, get this the rest of the way out. So there it is. It's not in terrible shape, but you can see some splits and cracks starting. So we're going to do the polyurethane upgrade on this. Yeah, my glove's falling apart. So now it's time to remove this. Well, I'm going to remove some of this rubber, and then just make those cuts in the metal here, and then just start hammering and chiseling it out then. So now with these 2 cuts made, see how they are on the other side too there? Now I'm going to start chiseling and hammering away. So now I'm going to start chiseling and hammering away. That was a nice cut. That was only like 2 or 3 taps of the hammer, so this is going to come out really easily. I wish I could actually record it right now. And there you have it. That wasn't too hard. Don't forget to file any burrs. Let's lube this up with the special polyurethane grease. Eee, goopy. That's probably way more than I need. But anyway, let me just spread this around. And then I guess I will spread the excess onto the actual bushings themselves. And it looks like a little pincher bug came to join me. Fun. So anyway, I pressed in this one side here easily. And let me just lube up this side, and also I'm going to lube this up and push it back in. And get it all together here. Now to slip it back in place here, I put it in gently. It's probably going to take some tapping to get all down into place here. But as you can see, it's going. Okay. She's in place. Now we just got to get that hole lined up. So to get this to raise up a little bit so that the hole's lined up, I just shoved this in here, gave it a little wiggle, a little rocking back and forth, and that slowly brought the hole up into place. So this one could be a bit of a pain. You might have to jack up and down the motor a tiny bit, maybe give it a little tap with a hammer, maybe spin it a little bit. Hopefully you have a power tool like this. That made it a lot easier. So anyway, got it in, got the bolts all in, got to torque everything up, put this back together, the little bracket on for the coolant reservoir, and that's it. So on to the last one then, which I already have prepared and waiting.